Life advice is twice as nice. Welcome to Wish You Had Dad. Before I even started today, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe. And the reason I'm doing that, and the reason you should do that, is even if you don't need this advice or any of the other advice I give today, when you do need it, maybe next week, next month, next year, you're going to say to yourself, where was that guy? What did he say? And you won't be able to find it. So go ahead and subscribe right now, because today we're going to talk about something that you will all need to do at some point in your life, which is negotiate either a raise or your salary or something that you have to negotiate with your boss. And the first thing you have to do is you have to understand what your job and role is with a company. Now, you exist at a company to do one of a couple of things. You either create time for your employer, like an assistant. They use you to leverage their time. You create a savings, which means that having you there, you're good at your job, so it's cheaper to have you there than someone else. Or you create income or revenue for the company. You're driving sales. You're good at driving sales. You might do one of these things. You might do a couple of these things. It just depends. But having a really good understanding of what you do and where you fit into that model is super important. Because, again, when you walk in and talk to your boss about giving you a raise or interviewing for a job, you need to present with them how you can create more time, more savings, or more revenue for the company. Because if you're just asking them to hand you money out of the air, it's probably not going to happen. Before you go to interview for a job, if it's a job you don't have or a job you already have, also understand what the market will bear. Don't walk into your boss's office and talk yourself out of your current position because they could hire somebody just out of school or somebody up and coming to kind of replace you. You know, there's a reason that when you go to McDonald's right now, instead of walking up to the counter and seeing a smiling face, you're seeing a big touch screen that's taking your order. It's because a lot of those people kind of asked for too much and now they're priced themselves completely out of the market. How do you find out how much your job is worth to your employer wherever you live? Well, like anything else in the world, and probably what got you here today, is you just go to Google. Google whatever job it is, wherever area you are, and how much it pays. There's a million websites out there that track this data. You can get a pretty good idea of what you're working with. Now, once you're armed with information of what the job that you currently have or the job you're going to interview for actually pays in that marketplace, it should give you an idea of what you can generate. Now, if it's a job that you currently have and you're going to ask for a raise, take a look at it. If you're someone that generates more time for somebody, figure out how you can generate even more time, more tasks you can take off their plate. If it's something that generates more leverage or more cost savings, explain to them how you are faster than the 3 other people they have doing your job, so having you there allows them to cut those people faster, saving money for the company. But most importantly, if you are someone that drives revenue to the company, be able to present a case how you have a plan to generate more revenue to actually pay for your own raise. Now, keep in mind, in business and in life, the ones that actually generate the money, that go out and bring the revenue in, they are always of the highest of value. So when you're going through this, if your job isn't one that's generating revenue, you might want to take a look at what you do, because you might be on the way to getting replaced. Now, set the meeting with your boss, whoever they are, and you're going to walk in and sit down with that person, and you're going to say, I want to talk to you about my salary. If it's a job interview, when you get to the salary, it's a little bit different. I'll talk about that in a second. But when you walk in and talk to your boss, say, I want to talk to you about my salary and what I do here. You need to start presenting the case as to how you can do one of those things, make more money, create more savings, or drive more revenue before you ask for more money. You present your case, and at the end of that, you say, and that's why I would like to have a raise to X. Don't leave it up and just say, I want a raise. Put a number out there. Now, a lot of people say you should always make the other person speak first because you'll sell yourself short. But in this case, I don't think so. Aim a little higher than you want to go, obviously, and negotiate your way to the middle. But know where you want to start, or know where you want to end up before you even start. Now, if your boss kind of comes back to you and says, oh, budget constraints or, budgeting or this or that, then I would bring in the phase 2 of the attack, which is number 1. No matter what number they say, if it's not the number you want, and this is similar to when you interview for a new job, you want to do the same thing. When they offer you a salary, you want to just repeat it back to them very slowly and then say nothing. So if they say we're going to offer you $42,000, you look at them and go, $42,000, and then go dead silent. Don't say a word, don't say anything. In this situation, the person that speaks next normally is going to lose. I don't care if you got to sit there for 5 minutes. Sit there in dead silence and make them justify that. Here's where the next phase of negotiations is going to happen. You're going to look at your boss and say, can you tell me what standard of value you use to come up with that number? Now, this person then has to tell you, oh, well, people in the industry traditionally make this. That one question, I advise my sister to use this question, that one question probably got her an extra $100,000 when she was negotiating her deal that she uses for the radio. Why? Because it forces them now to quantify the decision they're making. A lot of times people just think they can throw numbers out and it wins you over. But what you'll find is the reasoning behind the numbers is much more important to people than the actual number. Now, let me clarify that again. Why people think the way they do is more important than what they think. So when you have somebody all of a sudden they have to start quantifying a number they put out, and why are you using this number to justify what you're offering me? It puts a lot of pressure on them. And a lot of times they'll just fold and kind of give you what you want. Now, when you go into a job interview, again, you want to use that same tactic when they ask you what the salary is. A lot of people are going to say, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? You need to respond, what does the job pay? When they respond with a number, repeat it, then silence for 30 seconds, and then say, what standard of value are you using to justify that? Same thing again. Now, keep in mind other tips when you're doing this. You should know how much it costs your employer to train your replacement, because you can also add that in. Like, look, I'm not saying I'm going to leave, but if I was, it's going to cost you an extra $1,000 to train my replacement, and they might not even be as good as I am. So, but remember, when you walk into your boss's office, you want to be very careful. You're looking for a raise. You're not looking for the door. If you push this too hard and in a way that seems aggressive or a way that seems argumentative, you may upset your boss and they may send you packing. So be careful. Well, guys, that's it for this edition of Wish You Had Dad. Thank you for subscribing. Like the video, comment below if you like what I'm saying. And as your mother always said, go out and make good choices.